Yeah. Urban Therapy with Sun 752. This is your daily go getimism number 946 for May 6, 2017. It's what's on the outside that counts. It's what's on the outside that counts. As long as it look good. If it look good, it is good. You know some people feel that way, right? I mean, in some ways, I could kind of see where they're coming from in the beginning stages. But as time goes on, I don't really think that it holds water. You know, if you get with a person, if you get with a woman or a man, and they're very, very, very pretty, or they're handsome, or they have a really, really great body, you know, the visuals got it popping. The visuals got it popping. You know, some people never get past that point. They never get past the physical part of things. And when a person never gets past the physical part of things, there's a good chance that you may never really see what a person has to offer because you're not really going to give yourself a chance to really get to know a person. Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't running these brothers out here that will say anything just to please the ladies, even though I know deep down in my heart I don't believe that. Now, I'm not going to say that you should ever try to get with somebody that you're not physically attracted to just because their personality is banging. Because number one, you don't see a person's personality when you first meet them. You know, you go to a place, I don't care whether it's a club, whether it's a library, whether it's a supermarket or a laundromat or whatever. The first thing you're going to notice about a person is the way they look. And once you are pleased with the visual that you get on a person, then you're going to want to look into things a little bit more. So of course, you know, after you see they're pleasing to your eye, then you know maybe you'll try to strike up a conversation and see where their head is. Now, after you see where their head is, and it may surprise you. It may surprise you that somebody that pretty could be that nice, that smart, that personable, that relatable. You know, like really, really has it going on. That well-rounded, whatever. Or it may surprise you that somebody that pretty could be that silly, or that uninformed, or that stupid, to be totally honest with you, or, you know, just not really have it going on mentally. Like, you could find out that somebody that pretty could be that airheaded. Like, what's wrong with you? You know? And of course, that's all subjective because not everybody's going to be the same way to everybody, because it's all based on what you already know, what your experiences have been, and what your expectations may be. So when you start talking about the physical, one of the things that you have to determine for yourself is when you're physically attracted to somebody, are you physically attracted to them for you, or are you physically attracted to them for somebody else? And what I mean by that is this: there are plenty of people, just like we was talking about yesterday, just to say you had it. There are plenty of people that will choose the person that they're with based on what everybody else thinks of them. It sounds really ridiculous to a mature person, but this kind of stuff happens, and it happens often enough for it to, you know, be noticeable about some people. Some people don't really enjoy anything for themselves only. You know, they constantly live in the eyes of other people. They constantly live through the dreams and desires and aspirations of other people. So it's like, I've known dudes that will get with a girl, and yeah, she looks good and all of that, but what he'll do is he'll bring her around all his friends, all his dudes, all his boys. What he calls himself doing is seeing what they think of her. Like, if they give her the okay, then she's cool. You know, like it's a community effort. You know, it takes a village to choose a woman. But that's not what he's really doing. What he's really doing is showing her off. Like, yo, I got this superstar over here. Don't y'all wish y'all had her? Well, y'all ain't got her. I got her. You know? It's kind of funny to me. Because it's what's the word I'm looking for? Well, I'll tell you what it is, and maybe then I can think of a word for it. What they're really doing is they are presenting their trophy to the townspeople. They're presenting their trophy to all of their friends and all of that, so everybody can go crazy over her. But see, if they didn't go crazy over her, then it would be like, maybe she ain't as pretty as I thought she was. So there's a good chance he may take a chance on bailing out. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Now, I will give it to women. I don't know any women that do that. Like, if their friends don't like their man, you know, they'll leave their man or they'll find a way to get away from their man. I don't know of any. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but in that way that I just described with the fellas, yeah, I've seen it happen. You know, it's kind of crazy. So, who you thought was really, really beautiful, pretty, smart, and all that, now she's suddenly just okay because everybody didn't go crazy over her like they just won a Super Bowl bet. And that's how it goes. It's kind of crazy. But let me ask y'all this, and I want y'all to ask yourselves this. Would you be with somebody that you're not physically attracted to? Would you do it? Have you done it? If you've done it, what made you make that decision? And was it that you were never physically attracted to them from the beginning? Excuse me. Or did something happen later on down the line that made you not physically attracted to them? Now, because there are things that can happen to a person down the line that can take away your physical attraction for them. People lose weight, people gain weight. I put up a question on Facebook today, and I was talking about how I was asking, what do you do when you're involved with a person, or you're dealing with a person who has lost a lot of weight, and maybe they lost too much weight and you like the way they looked before? What do you do? And most of the women, it was mostly women who answered the question, and most of them said that, well, it's not about you, it's about her, and she feels good about herself, so you should just support her. All right, that's a very, very noble answer. But when you say that something is about, like when you do something to your body, you alter it in some type of way, I do believe that, yeah, it is all about you. But is it always all about you? Because there are many times when people want to alter their appearance, and it ain't all about them. It's not to make them feel good. It's the way people look at them that makes them feel good. So is it really all about them? But when you're in a couple situation, when it's man and woman, I believe that both people in that couple need to be attracted to the person that they're with. And I believe that if you really love the person, then you'll do what's necessary in order to at least keep their eyes focused in your direction. It doesn't mean that you have to do anything artificial, because I'm in the health, and I have no appreciation but only contempt for weight loss surgery and all that kind of stuff. I mean, people have to do what they feel like they have to do, but I understand the risks that are involved with that regarding your health, so I can't get with that. And all of this stuff is meant to make you look better, so it all plays into your presentation to other people. So if that's where the happiness comes from, if that's where the looking good comes from, then it's really not all about the person that's losing weight. It's about the people who are looking at the person who lost the weight. But on the flip side of that, is it all about the person if they gain a lot of weight? So let's say in the course of a 5-year relationship, somebody packs on 75 to 100 pounds. Not even that much. Let's say 50 pounds. They pack on 50 pounds. And maybe they were already kind of big in the first place. Is it still all about them? Because, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. People say that if somebody loses weight, that they're probably doing it for their own health, which that's not true. That's not true. Because there are people out here who lose so much weight and they become anorexic. And that has nothing to do with their health. That is bad for their health. So weight loss isn't always for noble reasons. We have to remember that, and we have to respect that. Sometimes weight loss is for very, very personal reasons. You know, just keeping it. Look. By the way, I'm not even in that situation. But it doesn't mean that the situation doesn't exist, and it doesn't mean that it's not worth talking about. So, if a person gains a lot of weight, is it still about the person that gained the weight? So people are encouraging people to shut up about somebody losing a whole lot of weight. Do you shut up while somebody is gaining a whole lot of weight too? So your personal desires, your personal attraction, that doesn't hold weight, that doesn't mean anything, that's not important. I don't know. I'm struggling with that. Doesn't sound fair. But I will say this. You can't judge everything in life based on the way that it looks, because you're going to miss out on a whole lot of things based on the way that they work. You know, if you are just obsessed with beauty, so whether it's a person or a car or a house. On the show this morning, we've been talking about hair weaves and wigs and stuff like that. And I was saying, well, grown people can do whatever they want to do, and they do whatever they want to do. But what happens when our people start putting in hair in their little girls' hair at a young age? So you 6 or 7 years old, and they already putting weave hair in your little girl's hair. Is that good for that little girl's self-esteem that young? Is that sending the right message? What if she's 7 years old? What if she's 8? What if she's 9? What if she's 10? Is it a good idea? Some people are already doing it. I've seen it. I've definitely seen it. But what do y'all think? Is that a good idea? Looks good to the people who think that it looks good. To me, it doesn't look good at all. But that's because I'm looking at the way it works. I'm not looking at the way it looks. I don't know. I'm just presenting some questions today. I want y'all to think about them though, because I think that they're important. Anyway, good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, it's not always about the way that something looks. Sometimes you have to look a little bit deeper into something and see and appreciate the way that it works. And if the way that it looks and the way that it works is good for you, then more than likely it is good. Because it's good for you. And that's all. That's as good as it has to get. All right. The Daily Go Get It Business Show is every single day, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Call in number 319-527-6199. blogtalkradio.com/son755.